Well, it's definitely a huge test for us going out there. They're improving nation, Japan. There's a lot of excuses: the heat, the humidity, the fact basically we've got approaching 30 players missing. But I think this lot seem to be a resolute bunch of lads, and they certainly got up to speed in the last couple of weeks in training. As a coach, sometimes you work harder with you've got more to teach with the younger, more inexperienced players. Whereas obviously working with someone like Jim Robertson, Jonathan Davis, I've worked a long time with them. So sometimes a little bit more work, and you need a little bit more time with them. But at the moment, I've been pretty pleased with the way they. Certainly, the attitude is, that's fantastic. But I'm certainly quite impressed with their improvement. Well, I think Dan Bigger is a player who played in Six Nations champions, and I did just seem to think that, and I did mention it to a couple of people actually, that the media seemed to not really bring his name up as much as potentially I thought he deserved to be honest. But that's not my job. I mean, that's for the Lions, and all I can say is that I spoke to Dan as soon as we came into camp, and I told him that he's going to be the leader of this team. Not necessarily be captain, but he's the leader out there as number 10, and as now probably the most experienced player in the back line. So these players are going to be looking up to him, and he's has to set the example for everyone else to follow.
How do you prepare for the conditions out there? Have you done anything specifically to cope with the conditions?
We did a couple of sessions in the indoor and turned the heating up, and it was thought I was in Benidorm, something like that. But no, seriously, we turned it up, heating up, and we did some conditioning sets. And the guys have been in the gym; they've had the heating up really, really hot in the gym, doing power endurance and really pushing themselves in the heat, trying to get used to it. But it is difficult to get used to. I played in Papua New Guinea in 1992, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in rugby. It was absolutely really, really tough.
Shaun, you've looked at Japan in detail. What have you made of them? What's your assessment?
Yeah, well, it's I've had a good look at it. I watched about 3 or 4 games. I watched the last game. Surprisingly, it's something you wouldn't probably think of. I mean, you expect them to be quick, nimble, very, very good footwork, etc. They've got great handling skills. But what impressed me in the last game against Tonga was the driven line-out. They nearly scored 4 tries from driven line-outs. They scored 1 try. They got someone sin-binned. So they're not just all about 7-star rugby. They take great pride in the set piece as well. So we know we've got to match them, and we'll try to better them in that area.